Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are diving straight on into this one. Here we are in the second series of the day, LNG versus WE. If you take a second to look at just the scores, this is your first time coming in. Already, you
Oh,
might have some
oh,
ideas about who's going to come out on top.
okay. Yeah, we're gonna leave up all the
Hmm.
power picks right now, like absolutely all of them.
Wait, they got Yumi Sivir?
Yumi Silva uh, versus Silas Atrox somehow.
Okay.
And Atrox
Yumi
is
Sivir.
going jungle. Like you have an abundance of good
Oh,
picks when Atrox is going jungle.
I saw the headshot. I'm like, what are you talking about? That Lux could be support. I know they've got a Kali as well. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
And they
Sure.
pick up the Vein Forcer as well. LNG is looking explosive, if I'm quite honest, and WE is
Wow,
just looking.
we've really just dove straight into the deep end of this match.
Yeah.
Oh god, I mean LNG have been looking pretty hot this season already. I think they only dropped one game, was it, within their series?
Yeah,
Winning every
like
series and
something
only
like that.
losing one game.
They've been looking very good at least, and
Yeah.
yeah, Flandre is having the form of his life right now, if I'm quite honest. SFM is doing really well as well. Plex is doing, as a rookie mid laner, he's very good. Overall, he's probably like middle of the pack to upper end. And yeah, WE has been honestly looking like the worst team in the LPL. But this comp makes me hopeful. This comp looks fun.
Oh, it's definitely an interesting one, but I really like the Corki pick coming into the Silas. I think that's a great idea. Yumi Sivir, obviously, Giga Broken. Just in and insane siege. Like Yumi Sivir and Yumi Ezreal, there's actually no counterplay to their siege. But what I don't understand here is the Xin Zhao. Why would they want to go ahead and pick that one up in this match?
Well, the Xin Zhao just gives you a lot of early game with the. I'm not sure if they're gonna go Hail of Blades or Conqueror. I think they should go Hail of Blades just because you're gonna get outvalued in the late game anyway by Aatrox, so you just have to make it count early. But I somehow assume that it's gonna be Conqueror anyway.
Yes, you don't want those longer fights that Conqueror lends itself to when you're versus the Aatrox. You just want to dash. You want to dash under his Darkened Blade, and then just bomb him as quickly as possible. I really like the Corki.
Yeah. That we should have the early game right here. Corki is doing really well early. I mean, even into Silas, because he can just jump with the phosphor bombs for like over and over again, and pop him down, and then Xin Zhao comes in from the side and kills that one. Online for LNG doesn't have a lot of wave clear, and that's pretty exploitable by the Sivir Yumi combo. So overall, I see how WE could win this game. I have just no confidence that they're gonna do it. As we jump in.
My question for you about this mid lane matchup: how many rockets does Silas swipe?
You mean how many does he use himself, or?
Yeah, I think he gets the. Does he get a full silo?
I don't actually know.
I think he definitely gets enough for a big one, but I don't know if he gets like 4 or if he gets the full 7 or whatever it is.
I very much hope he doesn't get 7 because that sounds broken.
That's quite a lot, yeah.
I mean, even Corki most of the time doesn't have 7 at the same time.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to get up to that sort of amount, to be fair, but we see something like
it wouldn't probably cost any mana as well after that. Like it wouldn't cost as much mana as Corki has to expend on it.
Yeah, I don't know how the mana costs work with it either, but
yeah,
something I do like is the Aatrox with the Aftershock. Had a little bit of Aatrox jungle, not won very many games with it, personally speaking, but you obviously have the choice of going. You can go Electrocute for the burst, you can go Conqueror, like we were talking about earlier, but you can also just go Aftershock, and it makes you really tanky. And then because you're that extra bit tanky, you're giving yourself more opportunity to heal. If you're getting immediately blown up, you're not going to heal.
Yeah, and honestly, he's the biggest tank on that team. Flandre is definitely not going to go tank, and even Plex on that Silas. Like you get some tank stats, and you become somewhat of a Vladimir, where you are tanky by healing, but
Yeah.
for a full tank, you really want SFM to be tanky with that aftershock, with some of the more tanky AD items like the Black Cleaver, and just do his job, be alive long in team fights, tank for objectives. That's his job.
Yeah, well, you talk about the tanking by healing, and one of the benefits of playing versus this marksman mid, this Corki, is that he's not got any ability to build Morello, which means you do have to wait for Sivir to get the executioners, but we could be seeing a bit of a 2v2 here in the mid lane. Zinzao going to dash on and try to look to find the knock up, but the Valkyrie will actually be cancelled out, I think. So Eiji forced to flash on out, and now Beishang trying to run down the lane, maybe have his bot lane coming up because he has that Sivir priority. And so everyone's away, but the flash was spelt by ZA.
Yeah. Since you are an LPL newbie, I will give you the laydown. Beishang actually means misery, and that could come in handy at some point for your casting.
Okay, yeah, I'll fling that one out here and there. God.
Anyway.
Oh, Beijing.
Well,
Oh, no. This is in position, but we'll have to see how it plays out. I think he ended up picking up the red buff there, but now will be dragged back in by the chains. Aftershock will proc, so Yuka will not be able to trade on back. Now he dashes straight on back in as the Yumi comes in. Will get the knock up. The dash not used by Soften, but he is kept alive by the Lux. Now Plex forced to try and sneak on out of this one a little bit, and that seemed like a semi-interesting invade, because I don't think he had quite enough priority. It worked, I think.
Yeah, Yumi is always really good for just the quick roams, just attaching to you, giving you some heals, giving you some slows, and is really good in these early game skirmishes.
Yeah, well, these are some quality recalls off the back of that fight. If we take a second to look down the bot lane, 2 goals, baby. That's what we like to see. Although I think it's important to note the Frostfang versus Boots pickups on the supports. Now the gold generation for missing is just going to skyrocket in comparison to Duan's. The Boots, are they really that useful when you're playing under your tower?
Yeah, you just want to be able to sidestep that Q, be faster than it pretty much, and get more poke out yourself. Sort of the support misfortune way of like, okay, you can't hit me at all, and I can hit you just barely, and that's enough to win the matchup.
That's all you need.
And yeah, honestly, Yumi for me is just like, you remember when Lucian came out and everyone was like, oh, he's just way better Graves.
Yeah.
Yumi is just way better Sona.
Well, then why aren't people playing Yumi Tarek? Idiot. Oh no.
Idiot.
If I ever see that, I'm not gonna be happy, to say the least.
Honestly, Yumi Rengar, let's go.
Have you seen the Yumi Evelyn? Get like a Ludens on the Yumi and call it a day.
It's
oh no.
It's so stupid.
It's not great, but you just take a second to glance down the scoreboard and the game looking disgustingly even. Everyone managing to keep up in CS. And do you think that, being the Sivir lane, pushing the Vayne under tower, you'd be able to deny a few creeps there? Having the range advantage on the Corki might be able to deny a little bit there as well. But everyone managing to do pretty well in what you'd think would be favorable lanes for WE.
Yeah, honestly, the Lux gives you a lot of under tower minion help that allows you to get all the CS, even though WE pushes you in. Also, I mean, just the Vayne Q always helps as well. Just being able to reset your auto attacks. So it's not actually that hard.
We're about to find out the question for the silos. He has got the ult pop, but meanwhile on top lane, Aurelia throwing out a lot.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay, but now back on into the mid lane. Plex still has the ultimate, and he's just throwing out rockets left, right, center. So I don't know exactly how many he managed to pick up, but he's going quite low. Yeah, I guess the big one, but the dash out from Plex.
Yeah,
I was not expecting it to be a big one. I thought he'd just thrown it.
But... still no kills.
That goes well. That might be about to change.
Yeah, this time SFM with the priority going into Beishang's jungle and picks up the red buff.
Yeah. It's secured there.
Honestly, the top lane all in, I think Post just didn't expect the instant flash from Flandre. dashed back with the Q, and then wanted to dash back to Flandre, but
And then just spilled his spaghetti.
it's
It's interesting. Yeah, he like cues out to the creep, and then in his head he's like, okay, now I need to get to this spot. This spot being where Flandre. Okay, and I'll get there by queuing onto Flandre. Flandre's not there, and suddenly he's just like, flash.
oh no.
Gotta get there somehow. Like, oh mate.
Anyway, he seems to have at least a bit of an advantage in that top lane. Has already picked up the Tiamat.
Right. Wait, the cooldown is so short for Plex. The internal cooldown, I mean, sorry, on the hijack. I thought that it would base it off of like how much it takes to stack as many as he steals, but I think it's just based off of how much what's the cooldown on casting one.
So I don't think Shriev quite understands how to play this lane. He just went for like a mini all-in onto Plex, and honestly, you much more just want to lay rocket after rocket, maybe some foster bombs in the middle of that, and just try to poke him out rather than go for the full engages.
Sure, your range versus melee, and you can match his wave clear, and that's really all you need right now in this matchup. But again, another 2v2 in the exact same spot. Bish, I'm trying to get on out, but not going to be able to pull this one off. He's level 5, and the first blood is finally secured, going over to Soften.
Yeah, SFM just picking up that first blood is going to give him a nice boost further into the matchup.
Could be a second blood up here. As Post taking a lot of damage. The execute is available. A nice block.
Nice.
But not nice enough. Flandre securing that one.
Yeah. After surviving the early all-in, Flandre strikes back with a beautiful play on that Akali. He's on a hot streak. He's just not had a bad game the entire season, I think.
All right, it's just very clean, and it's a very nice time to fight when Aurelia's gone back and got the Tiamat, which isn't that combat effective. It's great for the waves, but for the straight up 1v1, not quite as good as what Flandre had in his pocket there. So very nice time to pick that fight up. And something I'm interested in is this Stalker's Blade Warrior pickup. But actually, never mind, we've got a replay.
Yeah. Let's look at this once again. Pass feeling confident after landing the stun, but really just didn't get the damage down early enough. Used the ultimate kind of a bit too late and just got dominated after that.
Yeah, what's interesting for that one for me is I'm pretty certain he didn't fully stack his passive. I think he stacked it like 3 times, then queued onto Flandre, and then kept queuing creeps. So I'm not sure how that one works out, but this Master Dragon is being soloed out. However, LNG know about it because of the final spark, but I don't think there's any contest here.
Yeah, jungler in the different quadrant of the map.
Yeah, jungle difference, man.
Yeah. Overall, like LNG keeping up to this point is really helping them quite a lot because they just have so much more late game. I think every single lane outscales for them. Potentially, the Aurelia could be outscaling Flandre, but not after that kill. Now Flandre might be able to snowball here. So if
might be able to try and find enough. One does have the second charge of the precision available. Is going to dash one in. Is going to secure the kill on Poss. But the jungler shows up top. Bot lane will secure first brick.
Yeah, actually, that gives WE Elite now a 500 gold, and Mystic has to be the person carrying this game. He's been the one to carry them last season. He's been voted the best AD carry in the LPL last season. Ooh. He hasn't really been showing that this season though, and maybe the Sivir can help him. It's always a bit easier to carry on the Sivir just because basically there's not that much you can do wrong, and you have the spell shield as well.
Pick a target. Most ADCs, Vayne, she's only hitting one person. So you're literally just hitting 5 people at once. It's okay.
Yeah, you still need to do so. Like, there's still good and bad Sivers. It's just like the difference is not that big overall.
Sure. Now, again, important to note, because of the lack of boots and the earlier accelerated gold, Missing has the wards and has the Athens finished as well, as opposed to just the Mobies on Dwan. Very nice spike for the bottom lane. They're both hitting their first item.
Yeah, and the Chalice probably helping them quite a lot, especially with that double AD carry composition. I think the Ardent Sensor might come next or something. Although the redemption is always good.
Yeah, redemption's very juicy,
Yeah,
especially
it's just you
early
have
on.
double AD. You'd
Yeah,
really like the Ardent Sensor.
it's like you're getting the Ardent eventually, but I think right now Corki's damage isn't very sustained from his auto attacks, right? He's going for
Mm.
the Trinity Force procs, right? So he's not too fussed about not having that Ardent quite just yet. The Civet is going to like it a lot more, but at the same time, in these stages of the game, when her W still has a cooldown, she's not too fussed about having most attack speed possible at
Yeah.
all times.
If they can keep up this gold generation, I can see a third item Ardent Sensor. The problem is
Yeah.
most supports only ever get to 2 items.
Yeah.
So
True.
the problem I see with that is like you really want the Ardent Sensor, especially like looking at that. Even Pulse and Beishang like it. Like it's such a
Yeah.
universally good item for them that
No, that's true.
I
It is
just
really
wouldn't
nice with
want to
Beishang.
miss it. I just really wouldn't want to miss it.
All right, well, might not be missing a kill up here in the top lane. Is the root not quite going to find out Asura? He's able to get out of that one with the heal of the Lux and with his own flash, but now a bit of a kerfuffle down the bottom lane. Pulse once again not connecting the ultimate, and so Flandre will secure the solo kill. I mean,
Yeah,
jungler's hanging around SFM. He's like, hey guys, but not
he's just
necessarily needed.
he's just doing pirouettes around him. Like
Yeah,
it's not even funny anymore.
just
W
walks
is
on
trying
into
to
the
get
lane, does the default dance, and leaves.
just trying to get as much done as possible here with the Siva, and I would like to see how much gold she has. I'm pretty sure she might even
A
be the
lot
most wealthy member on the board right now. But
on the board.
yeah, I think she might even have more gold than Flandre at this point.
Flandre has like 3 kills, as we just see how he managed to
Yeah,
pick
but
that one up. Just very clean Akali play across the board.
yeah, but Mystic has gotten 2 turrets in his presence.
Ah,
So
that's true. How many plates did Flandre get? I think he only got like 1 or 2.
mm,
Not too many there, but meanwhile in the mid lane, we haven't seen just too much action for quite a while. And one thing we haven't seen is the package. Where's that been, Zio? Like, it's just chilling in the base, gathering dust. He's waiting for the opportune moment, and that could
yeah,
come pretty soon as the dragon is about to spawn.
she hasn't played Corki in 5 seasons at this point.
Yeah. It's like, hey, what do you mean I actually have a passive? What's Corki's old passive? Wasn't it just like
What do
a
you
little on
mean?
hit?
I don't do 80 damage anymore.
Hmm.
I could actually go. Wait, I can actually go Morelos, and it's not troll.
I mean, it's not that bad. Dude, I miss AP Corki. That thing's very fun. We're about to see a little bit more Corki action. He's trying to Falcon out. Will be able to get out of the chains, but I don't think it's enough. It's a red buff, and that forces out the flash. ZA not going to be able to hold that 1-1v3.
Yeah, when your mid laner can't even hold a candle to that jungle, it's just it's rough. Mystic is gonna have to do so much, and the load on his shoulders. I don't know how he's gonna defend that against a Silas, Atrox, and an Akali somehow.
Yeah, it's a pretty rough one. Again, it's severe Yumi though, so
Yeah,
shit, there's a lot of threat. But I think if you're positioning properly to deal with Sotham, I feel like you can't position for Flandre. But as long as Flandre's not one hitting you and SFM and Plex are just taking a little too long to get to you, I think you're okay.
well, is he not one-shotting?
Like, yeah, so that can happen. It's not unheard of.
Certainly in the realm of possibility.
Yeah,
And meanwhile,
that's
Azura is just farming up, being happy on the vein that he gets to exist and play a carry champion, and
yeah. He did go
potentially
down.
late game is another threat.
Yeah, went down a little bit in the lane, actually selling off his coal for that pickaxe there. But lane expected to start to lose a few creeps when he's forced to invest into sustain, and Mystic can go into straight wave clear. But now that they're out of lane phase, towers have been dropped. I feel like we're not going to see this gap shrink or grow too much without some exceptional wave management and lane allocation from either team.
Yeah, I think LNG has the better 1-3-1 setup, definitely.
Oh yeah,
Coming into this mid game, so they should be able to excel there. And I'm not sure if WE has enough forcing power to actually force towers in the 3v3.
Yeah, and you mean the 3v3 section when they have the Aatrox Vayne Lux? I think yeah, that could end up being kind of rough. You do have the ability for Zinzao to just engage on you, although it looks like right now SFM might be engaging on him, trying to go ahead and find out this red buff. A lot of people were being brought up for really just the red buff, and looks like LNG realized that and think, we don't have Vayne, maybe not on this one. It is going to be handed over, picked up by Mystic there, so nice little red buff secure, but SFM still hanging, not quite an aggressive position, but he had the possibility.
Let's take a moment to breathe.
Yeah,
take a moment to pray.
This game is so it's either absolutely nothing's happening or Flancher's one banging someone, and we might see it again. He does have a 2-level lead here, not too hot on the old energy, but
Poss is very he's in a hurry to kill the minions there.
Just smashing Q and praying that he's got enough. This is a rough time. 18 minutes into the game, he's got a Phage and a Tiamat. It's not a happy fun time. But now they engage onto SFM. They're going to try and find out the route with the Yuumi ult, but it's just not at the right angle. The ult has been popped by SFM, so he's going to try and find out a reset. But now Flandre coming on in. The first ult not going to connect, so he will not land a stun. But Mystic's alone. The second ult not finding the damage, so Mystic tries to flash on out. But here comes Plex trying to find some more. He's getting so low, but Yuumi cannot save him. Plex securing the first kill. Flandre forced to flash away. And now Plex trying to find a few more, but maybe that was not quite going to happen. And Vayne comes to join the fight, but Cookie nowhere near. It's all going to disengage.
Yeah, just the Aurelia ult to shut down any further chase from WE onto LNG, and well, they pick up a tower, they pick up another kill. Was that even a shutdown? I think, but the 200 CS that has to have been a shutdown, right?
I don't know, because they weren't ahead in gold. All right, we get to watch this one again. They weren't ahead in gold, so maybe they didn't have the shutdowns enabled, but just not getting the right angle with the final chapter there that we see so often in this match. I feel like that's happened quite a few times, but then cheeky steal of the Civet ult just out of vision. That was nice.
Yeah, just how do you defend against a really fast, really fed Akali?
You don't. You ult F4. It's not great. Well, okay, what you do is you get Overheal, you get Yuumi Shield, you get maybe a Bloodthirster as well. We are seeing, I believe that's going to be just a Maw picked up there by Mystic. And Maw is pretty nice with Sivir, because once it procs, you basically heal to full, because you're doing so much. Like, its healing it doesn't impact if you have AoE or not, it's just like, hey, you just heal for 10% of your damage. There's no limiter on it. So the second it pops, your W and your Q just heal you to full.
Yeah, the one thing we saw just there though, like SFM also, like you saw how tanky he is. Like Mystic couldn't kill him at this point in the game, and
that was with the aftershock, and I think he had a bit of a shield from Dwan.
Yeah, I mean how unrealistic is that going to be in a team fight?
So in the team fight, SFM has a pretty good time, but maybe not this time around. This time he will be rooted, but the double barrier does come through from Dwan. And like I said, I feel like he's tanky when he gets committed into a fight. But if the Dark Blades are being avoided, he's not getting the aftershocks. He doesn't actually have a lot of armor. He's only really got the sort of 400 health or whatever it is that's coming out from the Black Cleaver. Outside of that,
I mean, he has the aftershock.
Very reliant,
and he has Aatrox has surprisingly great, just base stats. So he doesn't actually need to build that tanky to be tanky.
Yeah, I think I've just got PTSD because I've had many a time where I've been the Aatrox in this situation. Maybe you even got the death stance as well, and you're like, dude, I'm so fed, and you flash into 5 people, and then you realize that you kind of need to actually hit things. It's like you're tanky, but only in certain situations. And it looks like we are seeing the right situations for SFM, although as this Ocean Dragon helps him out, Baron Vision is secured.
Post your solo queue stories at hashtag Doctor is D4.
D4? I'm D1! What? This is slander! What? This is, sue you for slander. This is defamation. Another
try
quality package.
try to
thrown
sue
out
me
from
in
G.
Germany. Try to sue me in Germany.
Do you not have cause? God.
Just try.
We don't have law here in Germany. Can't be bothered. I many a time when I went to Berlin last month. I could not figure out how the ticket validation worked on the rail, so I
I'm
just
pretty sure
didn't.
that's a private company though, so you didn't break the law. You just
The fools.
you
I
just
had the tickets, but I didn't.
defrauded them. You just defrauded them. Actually, that is breaking the law, sadly. So
Yeah, unlucky. Happens sometimes. Everyone be cool. Keep quiet. Nobody say a word. It's the German word for police.
Polizei.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, of course it is. No one talk to the Polizei.
No cooperación con la policía.
Is that a banger? Is that a German song?
I think it was. I don't quite remember.
You think you
if-
either made it up on the spot or it's actually a song? Hard to tell.
I don't quite remember if it was a German song, but I'm pretty sure it was a German song.
Yeah, fair. The only German song I know is Fledermausland. No, no, no,
Okay.
no, 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 Fledermausland. It's a tune, dude. Oh, and there was like a educational song for teaching German to people, but that one might have to wait. As where I'm not going to get pulled back in by the chains, but Plex has got the Zinzao ultimate. That crescent sweep very useful when you're playing that Zinzao, and I believe he doesn't get. Oh, hang on, never mind. This is a bit of an engage here. Now Plex knocked on back out of the fight, but the root will connect onto Azura, who goes pretty low. The crit is not enough to pick up the kill, but the Aurelia ultimate is. Now Flandre caught pretty far away. He's not able to get on into this fight, and now he's slowed up by the Yuumi, forced to try and do a little backflip to get on out of there. And lovely little fight from WE, just splitting out Plex and Flandre. Neither of them really able to get into the fight without, power inting a little bit.
Yeah, you can't. Despite how decent the threats on LNG are, you can't actually engage into that 4-man unit and expect to come out alive. You need to have a flank. You need to have better map positioning to do that. And if they can get these types of engages with the Sivir ult, with the Yuumi ult, just waltzing in, taking somebody down, there's definitely a possibility that WE can win team fights.
Yeah, I mean, neither side has like a tank to engage, but like you said, you have the Sivir Yuumi ults, and then Beishang, no matter how weak he is, his ult is just enough on top of that. It's not like a Zac or a Sejuani, but Yuumi Siviring a Zinzao into their team, who then throws out his ult and is kept alive by be it the Ardent Sensor heals or whatever's coming out to keep him up in the 1v1. That does create a body. He's going to be blocking skill shots. He's going to be creating threat. And that's not something that LNG really have. They have 2 assassins and a bruiser. They can, all 3 of them can sort of faff around in the front line, but not to that extent.
The one thing I have to point out as well, though, is like Beishang has actually picked up a Jarm's Fist, so he's going for the Stark's Gauge. He is going for at least a more tanky route than you often see with Zinzao's.
Yeah, sure. A lot of Zinzao likes to go for Force or at least the Cleaver, but oftentimes in situations like this, where, like you say, he just has to be the front line, he just doesn't need the Cleaver. He doesn't need the extra bit of damage because he's not going to kill anyone. Like, no matter how much damage he builds, he's not killing anyone that he jumps onto versus this comp. Maybe the Vayne, but let's be honest, there's no way that she's going to be caught that far away from Dwan. Although, maybe in last fight. But
it just happened.
Literally just happened, but most of the time, not going to be caught that far out. But speaking of Dwan, he's not doing too hot right now. He's 2 levels down to his opponent. 6 levels down on ZA. It's not great, but now a bit of engage coming on. My screen's stuttering a little bit, so not sure what's going on there. But it looks like he got out of it alive, so good for him.
Yeah, they needed to do disengage because they were just down in members. Flandre wasn't really in a position to join the fight anytime quickly, so they just didn't want to risk anybody getting blown up.
I mean, you look at the score and you think, wow, this is going really well for LNG, but then you realize the 3 of those kills were on Flandre. It's not, ready to commit to the fight. If Flandre is not finding a good target, the fight actually doesn't look too hot. I mean, there's a whole item up for Mystic versus Azura. That is not to be scoffed at. Meanwhile, ZA a bit of a tough spot, and you think missing some tough spot, but hang about, it's a fatty engage, but that's the Xin Zhao keeping himself alive with this nice final spark straight through the corridor, and WE are just so split up. However, a lot of people low missing. Mystic is going to recall. He has the teleport. Because there's no redemption, I don't think the Baron can be started.
Yeah, they just have to back off, which is sad. Beishang was down. Beishang was down.
My stream is stuttering just a little bit, and I see that that fight breaks out, and then it was all just like 3 frames for me. Okay, cool. But the package! After 27 minutes, we'll have a productive use as the Baron is started up. Teleport coming through from Flandre.
Beishang still dead, doesn't have TP.
Yeah, Sophom is getting chunked out. He's not here a lot versus that Duan, also taking a pretty hefty amount now. As the team split, look, Asura runs up, everyone else runs down, so ZA might want to try and find an aggressive package here. Duan brought very low. Shield's going to try and keep him alive, but Flandre is the one out of position this time. He's going to flash out, going to stay on a little bit of help. No rocket snipe going to come through and connect onto that one, but he is forced away, and he just used his teleport.
Beautiful light binding. I'm impressed, but W just turns around, is full health, and is starting the Baron. Beishang is here now as well. LNG have to stop this, and they can't.
Not without SFM, they can't, but Plex is going to try to look for it. The hijack, not available. Not sure what he just stole, but evidently wasn't too useful. A lovely Aurelia. Oh, look at that zone cutting off the corridor perfectly, leaving Plex to die.
Yeah.
Well, Flandre's looking for something here, and he has the second part of the precision here, looking to try and find it. Not going to connect onto anyone, will not get the execute, but Aurelia does still drop. Beishang getting a nice bit of damage and healing off there, but will be condemned to Sora flashing in a straight line, so still hit by the rocket, and now Aurelia has the option, but she does not want to jump back on into that 1v2, and that was looking a lot better for WE, you know, a couple of seconds ago, but still a beneficial fight.
Yeah, 5 for 5, 4 for 4 overall. LNG just throwing bodies at the wall just to stop that Baron, and it ended up working out. Azura is finally online with the 3 items, and he's just the fourth threat that they really needed.
It's suddenly starting to just get the damage they needed as we get a nice replay of this fight. Look at the Aurelia ult. I love it so much. Yeah,
SFM getting blown up pretty quickly, and they actually move away from the Baron, which I thought was a good idea, because that's how they got them this set up in the choke point for the Aurelia ult.
But look how perfectly that makes a wall across every entrance.
Yeah, but
if there had been someone in the tri-bush, no way they would have got out.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, the big thing about this fight was that the Silas did so much damage, and they went back to the Baron, and at that point LNG can just walk back in. Flandre has low targets that he can actually execute, and at that point the Baron is stopped. Ouch.
That's dead. Cool. Yeah, I feel like once Flandre got there, Oddly had to commit. It's like, okay, are we staying in the pit or are we peeling off? And everyone went in sort of separate directions. And like I said, because they stay in the pit, they're keeping the reduced armor and magic resist, reduced health. Sort of a little doomed if they're not all on the same page. If they're splitting up, they're giving Flandre the fight he wants.
And now W is actually going for the base.
Yeah, they're just fucking, they're just pushing it down. They're just sliding on in there. Nice already.
Still needs a while to come back. Can they actually fight this?
I'll have to find out. Beishang gonna be able to try and keep himself alive a little bit, but once people get inside the circle, it's not too great. Now, Post in the middle of the team, and he has the ultimate, trying to get the execute. It's eaten by the Maw, and GA stays alive. Now he's trying to find out some more, but the refresh has come through for S of M, so he has no fear. Plex running up forward. Mystic not alive, so he will not be able to hijack that particular ultimate, and now he looks for the stun onto Plex. Not going to find it, but a nice binding lands onto the Corki. Will we see the detonate? No damage going to come through from that one quite yet. And it looks like everyone's managing to get out alive, with the exception of Beishang there.
Yeah, 2 for 2, and the inhibitor goes down. So
that's the important part.
Happy.
They managed to grab the inhib. That's all that matters in that fight. That's going to go ahead and create some pressure for them. Nice little wave spawning, and they'll be able to move towards the Baron. But let's see this one more time.
Yeah, the early old really important to ward them off. And honestly, WE should have probably committed a bit harder, because the problem is they just lost members time after time after time, and just drip feeded the livestock that they basically had into that fight. And how did
Shield on
Plex lose
Plex, but
so much? Wow,
I
that
just don't
Corki
think
is
he has any
actually
magic
fed.
resist. Yeah, he's got a little bit of health, a little bit of armor. But actually, the Baron just, during that replay, yoinked away, picked up by Worldly. A nice attempt at the steal from Dwan, but not nice enough. And now they're going to bomb it down to the Cloud Drake. Obviously, the superior objective here, but
Is
if
WWE
you can
actually
get
going to
it,
win
you get it.
against LNG somehow?
But say, Civi Yumi is
Like,
is not balanced, so maybe.
I'm.
I mean, actually,
I
not
would
to
I would be shocked, but at this point, it is the likely outcome. They have a
yeah, it's looking like, but it's like, and I look at scores like, well, I want to say like nice things about Worldly in the game, but Poss was bombing it down lane.
yeah,
Beishang, okay, his scoreline looks a lot worse than it is. You know, all of his deaths have been like reasonable. You know, he's been getting something for the team each time he dies, with the exception of maybe one. Like Jie looks good, but I'm just still tilted about the single package that's been used effectively in 33 minutes.
Poss
But then Yumi, you're good. Once you've won lane, you're good.
Yeah. Poss has not had the greatest season so far, and it has really been hindering WE quite a lot. And in this game, while he hasn't been, I he's died quite a lot. He has actually been very big utility, especially when the early ults came down, just to keep Mystic safe overall. And yeah, they're just going to win the game now.
Yeah, they're just probably going to look for the end. SFM chunked out pretty hard. Now, the wave's not too big, but we are getting supers coming on into the mid lane. Plex getting a nice Aurelia out there. He's going to look to try and find a fight with disengage. Oh, not quite enough. And now Beijing throwing out, trying to just peel for his cat. However, Fedora has the ultimate available, and there it is. Oh, my Lux ult. I'm going to go ahead and secure a few more, and it's a triple kill. Guaranteed that for Asura.
Well, that was just
coaster.
a clean ace there. W didn't have any ults left, and still just waltzed in there. And LNG just punished them so hard. Plex actually with a huge team fight impact there, setting up SFM for the huge stuns, and then Azura just cleans up on the backside. This is how this comp is supposed to work, and this time it worked.
Right, I want to watch this again because I had hard stuttering, so I missed a head of it. But also the Aatrox gets heavily chunked out. Flandre goes in on the backline, I think it was, or someone goes in for the backline. It's a really nice out, but he just sort of. Okay, so that's how Corki got caught. All right, and then I thought that once the engagement onto the Aatrox just sort of peel him back, I'm like, okay, now you can slowly kite this fight out. Binding. Look at that Lux. So it's too clean. Flash was available for missing that. That's like, if he flashes out of that, I think they're fine. If you're kiting backwards with Yumi Sivir, but you're having a really good time. But
it just all happens so fast.
Yeah.
Like, he went from full health to 0 in less than 2 seconds. He just got hit by the light binding, and then everything happened at once.
As is customary, a very nice pulling of the trigger there for LNG. The second the binding hits, like, all right, this is it. This is our chance. But yeah, I think if that was just flashed by Mystic, then you probably just win the game there. Like,
Mystic has a major, so I just saw.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, despite that team fight loss, is not deterred. It's just gonna push it down the waves anyway. They still have one inhibitor down. One has respawned, sadly for them. But they are setting up for the next Baron. They are setting up for the Elder Drake. They have 3 dragons, and yeah, LNG will have to find another huge fight before they can actually reclaim the map here.
Yeah, they had that one nice fight, but it's definitely not enough. They've already got the one inhib, and that's pretty nice that one's down, because the mid one has respawned, but because they now have something creating some pressure. Flandre does have the teleport available, so it's not too much, but it is just getting them something that's now allowing them to walk up into the base like this.
Inhibitor, they really want to keep this inhibitor TP coming in.
Yeah, I think he's looking for the flank, and the team is just a little bit split as to see what he can do. He manages to find onto 3, throwing out the Shroud, and we'll be able to pick up Mystic. Yes, that was Sura, and now ZA so low, sniped off by the Lux Ultimate again. What an explosive fight. And yeah, they just run into them, pick up 4 kills. And that shouldn't happen versus this WE comp.
Welcome to the late game, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, late game, sick of it.
Where Silas is unkillable, where late game Aatrox jungle is a thing, and then Flandre just picks up the rest. Honestly, this is completely this is completely reasonable in my opinion, because W just gave up so many high priority picks that do so much in the late game that even Yumi Siva can't really do much against that. Especially because they don't have a main tank. They don't have a main tank.
I don't know if he's managed to buy enough time. Look, everyone's just sacrificing themselves, trying to buy the seconds that Mystic needed, but wasn't quite enough. And after, I don't know, I haven't seen all of them, but I'm pretty confident to say that might have been the best game of the season for WE. But after just 2 unfortunate
they
fights,
won games actually, but
good for them.
I'll be honest.
I'm a results-based analyst.
LNG has been the least consistent of the 3-0 or at least 2-0 teams, but they always just pull it out with phenomenal play by their carries. Flandre, SFM, Plex, just pretty much reliable to do things in unreliable situations.
Yeah, sounds like the way to put it. But we can see like a little damage chart there, and that's just you. It's just, how is your Sivir doing less damage than your Yumi? Like, I know I know that neither team, like you said, has a main tank. No one's got the heavy front line, which is something that the Sivir really wants to be able to get out damage. But at the same time, come on.
All right.
Maybe that's the power of the Magi. But in any case, it's not for mere mortal minds to comprehend what just happened. I'm looking at that goal chart. It is a straight line up. But that's... we can't comprehend that. But you know who can? The analyst desk. So we're going to go ahead and throw it over to them.